Hey guys, Sean Taggy here with Memphis Investment Properties. Today, I'm going to be going over how the Memphis market has been doing over the years, appreciation wise and number of sales wise. I keep track of the market data on definitely a monthly basis, but it's always good to review annual numbers. So I figured I'd share kind of the learning and insights that I've had and the data that I've been tracking. I use a lot of websites and subscribe to a lot of real estate newsletters on the overall market, the local market conditions, and everything like that. I use Chandler reports. You can reference Zillow.com. I use their kind of appreciation metrics. Apartments.com. I use that for rents. CoStar. I subscribe to, and other things like that. So lots of different sources and news articles and things I'm looking and using. But here, I'll share this with you so you can get an idea of how Memphis has been performing over the years, real estate wise. So I'm going to narrow down by zip code. A lot of you, could probably just pause this and kind of zone in for whatever zip code, you're kind of familiar with the most, that you might have a house in. So you can kind of see where things are going. I mean, the real thing is this is 2020, number of sales in that zip code, the average size of the house, square footage, the average price, and the price per foot in 2020. Then here's in 2021. And then the percent change. So for example, 38002, and you can just Google it to see where it's at. This is over in Arlington. Okay, Arlington, Brunswick, a little bit of Lakeland over here. So for this zip code, if you have a house over here, it looks like the price has gone up 13.5%. So a big market. And I definitely attest to that. I have a friend who has tried to get a house over there several times, and he got outbid several times, like 10, 20, 30 grand over asking price. He finally got a house and he had to offer 50 grand over asking price, not subject to appraisal. Now it was already priced a little low, but still he probably paid 20 grand more than what, the values and comps were showing. So Arlington's a huge hot market. I mean, everywhere in Memphis, you can see the average price appreciation, and it shows it down here at the very bottom was 12% overall for all the zip codes. It's gone from 205,000 average house up to 230. So a 25 grand increase from 102 a foot to 117 price per square foot on average. And the sales volume's also gone up a bunch in 2020, and that makes sense. 2020, we had COVID. That probably slowed down a lot of sales and everything like that. People kind of more pulling the reins back. And then 18,000 and then 21,000 in 2021. So a lot more sales as well. And I think one of the highest volume years. So, I mean, I'll just point out a few zip codes of note. A lot of our bread and butter zip codes. So 38109, that's over kind of west of the airport. So that's gone up 17%. Average house there is 70 grand now. 115 Hickory Hill area, 109 average sales price went up 12%. 116 went up 20%. So that is in Whitehaven, kind of by Graceland, just west of the airport as well. What I'm seeing there is now homeowners are picking up in that area. It used to be predominantly kind of a rental area, but now more and more homeowners are kind of living and buying in there, therefore increasing the prices. Rents have gone up as well. Rents have gone up a bunch in Memphis as well, double digits. So that also means investors might pay more for it if they can rent it for more. And also with interest rates going lower. So 38117 went up 11.5%. 118, I just call it 118. Everything starts with a 38 on the zip codes. That one went up 20% as well. And that's predominantly a rental area. And yeah, just rents going up. That is just east of the airport. So right next to 116. 122 Berclair, so 23%. So 126, actually, I'm not familiar with this zip code. Okay, yeah, so this is kind of more the southern part of downtown. So I know this is, I think there's opportunity zones over here. It's a rough area in some areas, and then some streets are great. Like obviously you got the medical district right here. So it's street by street over here, but yeah, a lot of redevelopment in the core of downtown. The Memphis and the city and the government are giving a lot of pilot payment in lieu of taxes. There's opportunity zones all going on in here, kind of out of our bread and butter wheelhouse. So we don't do a lot. And then also like the reason why this went up 325% is there are only 12 cells versus 33 cells. So maybe a few more cells were on a certain street. That's probably why. So Fraser 38127, that went up 30%. Yeah, Fraser's seeing a lot of redevelopment and people Yeah, it's a little bit of a rougher area in some areas, but now more people are getting outpriced. That's what I'm seeing here. Actually, kind of the trend. People are getting outpriced in the kind of the higher end or middle end areas. And you can kind of see that by average price here. If the average price is under, it looks like, 200 grand or some assumption I'd make, like that probably has more chances of appreciating because it's, easier to appreciate because it's still affordable. So Fraser, that's awesome. 63,000. 128, that's Raleigh, just east of Fraser. So as well, a lot of people are moving from Bartlett over to Raleigh and Raleigh over into Fraser. It's kind of a trend I would assume going on there. So 133, this Bartlett 9%, 134, 135. These are all kind of the Bartlett area. So yeah, kind of not quite as hot as the others because people are going from there to there. And as you can see, home prices are in the 180 to 250 range. This is Germantown area, really probably the highest, priced homes in these areas. The wealthiest per capita neighborhood in all of Tennessee is Germantown. You got lots of FedEx executives. The owner of FedEx lives over there. Lots of great schools and everything like that. So 400,000. So yeah, those only appreciated 11% and 8%, but the dollar increase is probably more. That's a 40 grand increase or whatever. So, you kind of understand that the higher the price, it's harder to appreciate so quickly. So yeah, that's awesome. 141, another rental area went up 21.7%. So really awesome to see all of that, and those general trends. This is kind of tracking from 2016 that I've been keeping track of this data. So the average price, let's go with number of sales. Sorry. So 17, looks like 17 or 18,000 was kind of the average, 18,500. But then 2021 just blew through the roof. Looks like we had, let's do that math there, 2,800 more than the previous year. So 13% increase in the volume of houses being sold. And yet again, just, there's a low supply, but I think hold back from 2020. So a lot spilled over into 2021. And then Memphis is just booming. A lot of redevelopment and government programs. Mark Hart kind of puts those out on the weekly emails. A lot of jobs coming in here. So Ford is building electric vehicles. That's going to be about exactly a half hour from our office in between here and Jackson, Tennessee. They're going to put a lot of jobs here. Amazon's bringing in a lot of jobs. Nike's expanding their facility and their distribution center. Obviously, FedEx is always hiring a bunch of people. St. Jude is expanding massively and bringing in a lot of jobs in biotech industry and all the other nurses and janitors and everything like that. So I'm biased, of course. I'm a bias. I can tell you all the good things about Memphis. That's my take on the good things coming along in Memphis. And of course, we're all aware of there's pros and cons to each market, but I think it's a great market to invest in. Hence why I moved here all the way from Salt Lake City, Utah to Memphis, Tennessee, because I came here to invest in real estate. Because and that was in 2016. I moved in 2017. So I was like, I just knew it. Man, I wish I could have had like a 2017. Hey, I know this will go up. I know it's going to be a great market. And see, historically Memphis has been 3 to 5%, and then it's just boomed. And I knew it was poised for something like that. It came a little later than what I thought, but I knew it was poised for something. And definitely has. It's just catching up with all the other markets. Just seeing 165, and this is a top 50 major metropolitan city, a million plus people. I was just like, it's got to go up. I've seen how that was going in, East Coast cities and then expensive cities like Utah and Colorado and, Seattle and all the New York and Boston, everything like that. It's like these is still so affordable here. And so, we're creeping up there, but I still think there's lots of room to grow, lots of new jobs and increased wages. So I think there's some room to grow here. Price per foot, we finally tipped over the $100 a foot, now to $117 a foot, 2021. So yeah, awesome to see this. let me rant a bit here, but you just think like you buy a house for $100,000. Okay. Put that down here, and you put for an investor loan, you put 20% down, 20 grand down. Okay. And your house appreciates, 1.12%, right? So you're like, oh, 12,000, right? But then you think return on investment, you've only put 20 grand down. So the whole house is appreciating 12%, but you've only put 20 grand down. Let's put in some closing costs here, 22,500, right? closing costs and extra fees. But your return, well, your return is 12,000 on your investment. That sounds like a 53% return on investment to me. So, I mean, people who are bought here are just loving it, especially people who bought over here. Hence why some people are now that have bought in the earlier years are now exiting the market and selling. And, or maybe another thing to consider is refinancing. You know, you've built up whatever it may be here. Let's say you've built up 72 grand in equity. You can do a cash out refinance of 75% of the value. And what's nice about that, so say you'd get 50 grand from this, that's tax free. If you sell, you'd be taxed whatever your tax bracket is, or long-term capital gains tax bracket on 72,000. You're taking a 25% haircut. Or you can get it all tax free, but you don't get to pull out 100% of the equity. You could also consider a 1031 exchange, sell it net, you know, 70 grand, 100 grand, and then buy 4 or 5 houses with that and go and leverage it more. Those are the things I'm seeing and strategies I'm seeing with people. So reach out to us if you want to consider those options. We can kind of explain each one to you and just kind of give you your options out there so you can consider what to do. This is Zillow data. So Zillow is a little bit different numbers as you've seen from the other reports I pulled. You know, everyone has different sources and different metrics and measurements and different boundary lines of where they're estimating home prices. But, you know, Zillow kind of tried and true. A lot of people you know, use Zillow. So this is Zillow's over the years for Memphis. So increased 84 grand over 5 years, or 70%. You know, and they've shown kind of higher appreciation. And I think it's somewhere in the middle of both of those. Just depends on the source you're looking at. So anyways, yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. If you've hung out to the end of here, thanks for ranting along with me. I'd love to hear your input. Comment down in the video. Love to see kind of where your take is on Memphis, Tennessee, the real estate investing market. Questions, comments, concerns. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll keep bringing out some good things like that. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.